Table calculations, exercise, moving averages. In this exercise, we are going to look at writing a table calculation that returns a moving average. Note, this is extremely useful when we are looking at trends over time, as we will smooth out the curve. So, for example, in today's world, at the moment of filming, we are in a pandemic. We have daily COVID cases, daily COVID deaths. However, if you look at the daily data, there are a lot of spikes, there's a lot of dips, which doesn't give us as much. So therefore, if you look at a lot of the reporting, a lot of the graphs, you see a 7-day average or a 14-day average or even a 30-day average, so that you can try to smooth that curve and remove outliers. And that's what we're going to do here. So let's open up Tableau and let's have some fun. As always, let's load in our data source. Let's go to Microsoft Excel. Select our sample superstore data source. Now once Tableau is ready, let's take orders, drop it in. And now let's go into Sheet and our data is loaded. Let's start off by building our data visualization. Let's take order dates and drop it into columns. This is where it becomes fun. I want to turn this. Let's see what day looks like. Now let's take cells and drop that into rows. As you can see, it's quite erratic. Very much so. Let's actually see if week makes it look a little bit neater. Yep, that looks a bit better. So we're going to stick with week. So a very simple data visualization. However, it will be nice to see what the actual 7-week average is. So let's create that. Let's create a calculated field. Let's call this moving average 7. Now what I want is to use the window average function, sum of cells. And this is where it becomes interesting. We're going to type -7 and 0. So that gives us our range. With a lot of table calculations, you can enter in an expression and you also have a start and an end, because remember, you're calculating across a table, so you can say go back 7 places. So in this case, it will be 7 weeks. Let's click apply. Let's click OK. The reason why I didn't put 7 days is because this will be relative to the number of points we have. So if we change this to months instead of weeks, moving average will give us 7 months. If we change it to days, 7 days. This is the power of Tableau. Let's bring that into our data visualization. Let's dual axis this. Let's synchronize. And now what I want us to do is the cells. I want to turn this into a shade of grey. So now you can see the moving average. What happens if we change the moving average? Instead of 7, let's make it, actually that's a little too much, let's make it 14. So that's a 14-week moving average. Why don't we have even more fun? Let's create a parameter, moving average, and let's put it as integer and let's put that as 10 for now. Now we can do the following. Let's remove the number because now it's controlled by a parameter. Let's show this parameter. Now we have moving 10. How about 20? And as you can see, you're taking the average of the last 20 weeks and putting that as the value of the day. So you're smoothing this out. The beautiful thing is that this is relative. So if we change this to day, for example, you can see how this works. This big spike has been smoothed out. But this is something that is always interesting to do, especially if you're looking at daily data. A lot of times when we're looking at daily data, we want to look at the moving average, because it gives us a better indication of trends. Also, we can actually do calculations on moving averages. Is the moving average dipping low or going high? We can have a lot of interesting fun and insights. But you can see how easy this was. We created a parameter, which essentially gave us the number of days, or the number that you want to calculate the moving average by. It's all relative. We created a very simple table calculation using the Windows average with summing for all the individual dimensions, i.e. or parts, which in our case is day, minus, this gives us our range, and end, 0 being the current date, minus 20 because of the parameter. So do me a favor, try creating a moving average for quantity, for profit, and see how that goes. Apply the parameter and then apply this to your business data at work and see how that works out for you. Main thing, explore and enjoy.